everybody, and welcome to another Joker's Wild Side. Sorry for the restart, we had a little technical difficulties,
Mm-hmm.
but I am Lobo,
I am Jax.
and today we got quite a bit of news, specifically wrestling news, but there's a lot of football talk, some NHL talk, and also some entertainment talk that you found. Uh, First of all, let's start off. How you doing, bud?
Doing pretty good. Lazy day. Very
Lazy.
happy.
Lazy day, huh?
Oh yeah.
Uh, for me, it was a busy day at work. But I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we get to do something we love, which is obviously talk about sports, wrestling, and entertainment.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's start off with some NFL news. There's a lot of it. This is last week of the season, man. We've made it to another season. Your first season. Uh, I think on Monday we will talk about what your first how you feel about your whole first season. Okay.
All right. All right.
I think that'll be a good little area to talk about. Obviously, we need to watch more games together specifically. That way you get
Definitely.
more knowledgeable. But we'll get info on what you thought about your first season. But let's start off with Week 18. We got Saturday matchups. We got the Steelers and Baltimore Ravens and Houston and Indianapolis Colts. Both playoff implication games. There is some injuries here. For the Ravens specifically, it looks like they're gonna sit quarterback Lamar Jackson. Ooh, excuse me, and wide receiver Beckham.
Yeah.
Um, to be honest with you, it looks like they are in the playoffs regardless. They already clinched the spot. They might rest some of their starters here. Uh, Let me see if I can find if there's. I thought they were gonna sit someone else. No, 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 real quick. Yes, right.
Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, Tyler Huntley, will start. No, he will start in place of
Jackson.
Jackson, which is the quarterback. So it looks like they are doing a sit down for them. Uh, and it looks like they're gonna start Rashad Bateman and Nelson Aguilar at wide receiver, uh, with also Zach Flowers listed as doubtful.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're just having to rest to get ready for the playoffs here. The Steelers, as far as I know, do not have anybody on. Oh yeah, they do. Manic Fitzpatrick, their safety. He has a knee injury. He is questionable. May still play. Uh, Regardless, this is a playoff implication game. Who do you got here and why?
Man, I originally had the Ravens marked down, and with the QB being potentially injured, not saying that he was necessarily a powerhouse,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
You talk about
definitely
Lamar Jackson?
yeah.
Oh, he is a powerhouse. He's a beast.
Um, Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have Tyler Huntley, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Huntley. Um, he's averaging 18.6 points a game, so it's better.
Eh.
But it could be a lot better. Sadly, Jackson won't be playing. Um, I still got the Ravens on this.
Yes.
I thought I was gonna switch, but I'm pretty sure I still got the Ravens.
With the standings here, let me pull this up real quick. The standings being the Ravens are at number one in their division, and I think they're number one overall in NFL. The Steelers, if they want a chance to be in the playoffs, they need to win. If they lose, I'm 100% sure they're out.
Yeah, this is definitely the time for Steelers to get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Uh, Probably their best
Oh,
chance.
nope. Ravens got the first seed locked in, loaded. They're two
Yep,
games ahead of everybody, so it doesn't matter.
Ravens is first seed.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters too much for them. Um, you have the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the Steelers here for the reasons that we said. This game does not matter to them much anymore. They're they're two games ahead of everybody on their division, on their conference. Sorry. Um, and 2 games ahead, 1 game ahead of the 49ers for first overall. But that I don't think they matter. So yeah, I think Steelers win this one, tight one. Yeah, I think Steelers will make the playoffs with this win. And then we also have the Colts versus the Texans. Also, playoff implications here, as they're both trying to get into the wild card. I don't think they'll get for the division. Oh no, wrong. All 3 teams for the AFC South are tied at 9-7. Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and Houston. I think if Jacksonville beats Tennessee, which we'll talk about a little later, they will take the #1 spot as they have wins over both.
Mm-hmm.
But this is very, very interesting. A lot could happen. For the Texas and the Colts.
Neither of them have injuries.
Oh, you didn't see anything?
Nope, I did not see injuries on
Yes.
either team.
Yes, there is.
There is? I'm blind as shit.
I'm pretty sure there is. I thought I saw the Texans had. Let me double check. Bears. So far, no, nope. You're right. None. Both of them have no injuries, so they could come up. There was a little bit of doubt with the concussions and the injuries that Houston quarterback has been dealt, but it looks like they're gonna come in fresh, and winner may be able to take it and go to the playoffs. Who do you have here and why?
I got the Texans. They've just well, I can't say that they've necessarily done better than the Colts, but they've done the same as the Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me,
Texans, especially if their quarterback is there to play, Texans are gonna stomp out the Colts.
okay. To me, they're both coming in pretty fresh. Houston's quarterback has played a little down from the way he started the season. He started extremely hot.
Being labeled best junior quarterback or something like that.
Best rookie quarterback
Yeah.
of all time. Yeah. The way I see this is, although Indianapolis has a little bit better scoring offense, they also have a worse defense. They're both coming off a win. As much as I want to see my one team I'm very supportive of because I enjoy their team, I think Houston takes it, unfortunately, as much as I want Indianapolis to take it. The defense being much poorer than Houston, and their offense is they're slightly different. So it's not much of a difference on that. I will give it to Houston to take this and possibly make the playoffs with this game. So that is our Saturday slate. And you said you had Indianapolis or Houston on this one?
I have Houston on this one.
Gotcha. I think we both have the Houston then.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very, very tight game, but Houston will take it. Coming up now, we have Cleveland versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati, unfortunately, is already eliminated from the playoffs.
As well as Cincinnati does have an injury coming into this.
With wide receiver Ty Higgins. Didn't practice all week, and he's doubtful. It's a long shot, sorry. A long shot. He'll play with a hamstring injury. And then the Cincinnati Bengals, I don't think I saw him as I scrolled through.
No, I did not see the Browns.
Okay. No, I didn't either. Who do you have here, and what is your reasoning?
Let's see here.
Switch it out to schedule.
Wide receiver is, I mean, definitely an important role to play. But is it going to affect Cincinnati's winning or losing against the Bears? I don't quite think so.
So the other thing
Or
is
the Browns, not the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I think I still got to go with the Browns on this. This one I wasn't able to make an easy choice per se.
Yeah, I was looking into it right now. That pulled up the schedule. The Cleveland Browns have already clinched the playoffs. They're in it regardless.
Mhm.
The only thing they might play for is a positioning to get a higher positioning. The Cincinnati Bengals are eliminated completely out of the playoffs, unfortunately. Like I said, I think this is as much as I said it matters because I did not know Cincinnati, Cleveland had already clinched. I think Cleveland still wins, but I
Mhm.
think it's one of those games that
They're not going to put all their energy into
I
the
think
game.
so. I think that's how it's going to end up playing.
I could
That,
definitely see that being the case.
but I still see Cleveland with their top dog defense going at it. Uh, next is Detroit versus Minnesota. They'll be playing in Detroit. Detroit already clinched their division. Minnesota, if I remember correctly, they're still buying for a playoff spot. Um,
So the Lions do have an injury, but I believe the Vikings do not have an injury.
no, I did not see the Vikings. The Lions, who do they have? They have wide receiver James Williams. It seems he's out with an ankle injury. Uh,
After catching the 63-yard bomb from
J-
quarterback Jared
Goff.
Goff.
Okay. Um,
Yeah, limping out of the locker room. So he's probably out, still out.
yeah.
We'll see.
Who do you got?
I got the Vikings. Nah, I got the Lions. It's a coin toss. Lions.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna disagree on this one. I've been praising the Lions all year with well, singing their praises. They played extremely well this year, but with Lions really not playing for anything but because they're in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
and even if they lose this game, it doesn't stand on their division champion. They have it in hand. I think Minnesota needs to win to be in the playoffs, plus some help. So I doubt Minnesota's gonna sit many people out. They will be playing to get into the playoffs, and I think they will win. Next up, we do have.
Bills
Uh,
and Dolphins.
nope, we got first Jags in Tennessee. This one we did talk about.
Oh, apparently I didn't write them down.
You, oh, you skipped over them.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. This could be the division, man. If Jacksonville wins, they will take the division. No matter if the Colts and the Texans, whoever wins on that one. But Jacksonville does have their quarterback Trevor Lawrence may be out with a right AC joint issue. It will be game time decision to see how it feels before the game. Um, who do you see here coming up, man, with the win?
Um. Well, especially if Trevor Lawrence is able to play, it's going to be a complete smack out on the Titans side.
Gotcha.
If Trevor Lawrence isn't able to play, I can see the Titans definitely putting up a very good fight. Uh, Close game. Jags take it anyways. I have a lot of faith in the Jags.
I kind of do too. I think Tennessee is done, been completely done for a while now, this year. And Jacksonville, I mean, even though they're not playing, no, they're playing for something. So yeah, Jacksonville, 100%. Uh, the next game is New York versus New England. The Jets versus the Patriots. Both teams are eliminated, so this game means squat besides for draft positioning. Uh,
Hunter Henry for the Patriots is out.
good player, and I think there was a Jets. I don't remember. Oh, New York.
Giants. Giants
No
has
Jets.
an
Okay.
injury. No Giant.
Um.
No Jets.
So depends. Hmm, depends what Jets team shows up. They've had a few good games offensively, but if the lackluster Jets show up, uh, I think the New England Patriot defense is too strong, too fast. It is very good. It's just New England has no offense. So I will pick New England to win by defense. What you think, bud?
Mm,
Even though this game kind of doesn't matter.
I mean, you said it very, very well. Depends on what Jets show up.
Hmm.
And I know it hurt you a lot to say that New England takes it over the Jets.
I mean, I kind of don't like both teams, but
I did give a lot of appreciation to the Jets this year for them winning a lot of what I didn't think that they were going to win.
agreed. But they also disappointed us when we wanted them to win
Mm.
very much. Um, but swiftly moving on. Let me see the standing real quick. We got Atlanta versus New Orleans in New Orleans. I think this is also for the division, if I'm correctly. Yep, they're all fighting for the NFC South. Damn, the South teams really all freaking tied, pretty much. Uh, Atlanta wins. They could still possibly uh win the division. But there's still the possibility of Tampa Bay win and they just take it. Ooh, excuse me. Uh,
Falcons do have an injury.
yeah, they have Tyler Haneke, quarterback, out with the left ankle. I think he's questionable. And then I know the Saints. They're playing the Saints, right?
Yes, Alvin
Kamara. Oh,
Kamara.
Kamara. They're running back. Yeah, and that's a big weapon. Both of them are big weapons for them. Um, I really do not know who to pick here because they're both very similar in both offense and defense. No, actually, I do. With former quarterback for the Raiders, Derek Carr being leading the New Orleans Saints, I'm choosing the Saints here. Who do you got, bud?
Um, I honestly had a coin toss and said Falcons. It's it's a low game.
It's gonna be a tight game regardless. I do agree with you there. Uh, Next is the other one, the other team involved for the division, possibly Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the sucky Panthers, the
Which,
pathetic Panthers. They both have injuries.
yep.
Tampa Bay, I think I wrote it. Yeah, quarterback Baker Mayfield practiced Friday despite rib discomfort. And then who were they playing? The Panthers. I did see they had an injury.
Eddie Pinero,
Eddie Pinero. I don't know who that is.
hamstring injury. Um,
Kicker.
he said that he would possibly kick
Hmm?
or kick if possibly Sunday. Listed as doubtful. Matthew Wright is in the spotlight. Intern coach wouldn't say Wright's range. Wright has connected from 59 yards, so the Panthers at least have a good option for as little as what the Panthers have.
Nice. Next, we got the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Both have injuries. Unfortunately, the Bears are disqualified already from the playoffs, eliminated. They have a few players out with wide receiver Mooney, cornerback Johnson, all both out. And then the Green Bay does have their wide receiver Christian Watson with some hamstring issues going on. Regardless, Green Bay needs to win to be in the playoffs. Bears are eliminated completely. I don't think it matters for them. I'm choosing the Bears to upset Green Bay and unfortunately kick them out of the playoffs.
My guy right here. That's exactly my hope.
Yeah.
It
Uh,
is. I don't want to even see the Packers in playoff. I feel like it is waste of a slot.
Agreed. Very much agreed. As I think the Vikings are a much better team. But Green Bay looks better than we all thought this year, for sure.
They definitely did come up on the surprise towards the end,
Hmm.
but the Packers just haven't been there for it, and they're just not people that or they haven't been playing how I expected the Packers to be playing. So I don't think that they even deserve it.
I get you. I get you. Next up, we got another game that doesn't matter, unfortunately. For me, my Raiders are eliminated, and the Denver Ponies, I mean Broncos, are also eliminated. I'm choosing the Raiders because they're my team. This one I could go completely biased because it doesn't matter, and is in Vegas. So,
I'll go for Broncos.
are you going for Broncos?
Yeah,
Dick?
I'll just cheer on Broncos.
Gotcha,
As it doesn't matter, I'm not going to put a lot of effort into thinking who will take it.
gotcha, gotcha. Next we got Philadelphia Eagles. Let's go back a little bit with the Raiders. Josh Jacobs is probably out with the quad. He's been out for a few weeks. Um, Rumor has it that he has played his last game as a Raider.
Mm.
I really don't want to hear that. He is a very good player. Last year he was the leading rusher, but with the turnover that's happening, our head coach being fired this year, our general manager fired this year, there's going to be a lot of turnover, and he's probably going to be one of those that gets turned over as well. Hopefully he goes to a contender so he could get a championship down the line.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I think that this is a good move on the Raiders, especially if they do reorganize.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders need to change something, and obviously they went through a lot of changes this year.
Yeah.
But the Raiders need to have some major restructuring, if you just ask me plainly. And they've been needing it. There's a lot of good players. There's a lot of good abilities that the Raiders hold. They do have guns with them, but they don't know how to fire them. So it makes it difficult for. I mean, I'm an honorary Raiders fan. To see them and be a part of them, it's not that I feel disgusted to call myself that, but it's like if I'm going to be cheering for a team, I just hoped that they would be a little bit better.
Agreed.
Saying it bluntly.
Agreed. Look, it's been 20 years since the last time we won a playoff game. 22 years.
And that's just a playoff
20
game.
No, we were in the Super Bowl that last time. We did lose to Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but we've been in the playoffs twice in 20 years, not getting a victory. We have to go back to what the original owner wanted. It's just to win. Just win, baby. It was his motto. He had one rule. Cheating is encouraged. Why do you think I love freaking Raiders? We got to go back to the winning ways. What's funny of all this, I think I mentioned this to you before. Even though we had these 20 years of mediocrity to be nice, we are still the sixth most winning team in franchise in NFL history.
So why can't they make no moves?
Exactly, that's what pisses me off. They have a great fan base, a bloodthirsty fan base. They fight anybody, talk smack, even if it's another Raider fan, they will fight them.
Like I said, Raiders have a lot of guns. They have the ability to push it. Why aren't they pushing?
Yeah, something is off there. The interim head coach has been doing a pretty good job. Their defense has been stellar for the most part since he took over. I think he should be continue as head coach, but he needs to get someone offensive coordinator, bright mind, to run the offense, and he continue running the defensive part of it, and just kind of like the Patriots. Not saying the Patriot way, kind of like the way Bill Belichick did with the teams where he won the Super Bowl. Is he really controlled the defense, or had a lot of say in the defense and the offense, but the plays were called by somebody else for the most part, I think. But either way, if they get a good offensive coordinator, it'll be a better offense than what we've had this year, unfortunately. Although we did have one of the our most high scoring game in the franchise history, with the shellacking of the Chargers on Thursday night. I definitely do not think that was our best performance. This year was not a good performance overall.
Yeah.
Besides a few games here and there. Next we got Seattle versus Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals are eliminated, and as that being said, Seattle needs to win to go to the playoffs. Arizona beat the Eagles recently. I'm taking Arizona to beat Seattle again. Upset again, sorry. And eliminate Seattle from the playoffs. What do you think?
I just want Seattle to win. I can't see them. It would hurt me to see the Seahawks lose to the Cardinals. And it's just because the Cardinals have been bottom freaking rung for so long just this season.
Agreed. 100% agreed. But Arizona does have the capability of upsetting teams.
They definitely do. They definitely have the chance to smack out the Seahawks in this. I just hope it's not the case.
Going forward now, we got with the Kansas City Chiefs and Los Angeles Whack Chargers.
Chargers.
I mean Chargers.
I meant to say I'm going for the Chiefs, but then I said Chargers. I don't know. My brain's a little toasty.
It's that all day in bed shit.
Hell yeah. It's the way to go. If you have the opportunity to lay in bed, you should.
Yes. I also have the Chiefs, even though they have their wide receiver, Rashee Rice, out with a hamstring. Plus a few other players that, let me see if yep, they're right here. The Chiefs, Jesus, are also without wide receiver Kadarius Toney with an ankle and a hip injury, and cornerback, I don't know how to pronounce that, Snead with the calf injury.
For the Chargers?
No, the Chiefs. I did not see the Chargers, but
Okay, so this is just the most recent injuries. Gotcha.
oh, the Chargers also have wide receiver
Legarius?
Keenan Allen out. Yeah, maybe Legarius. That's kind of complicated.
But
Snead. But the Chargers have wide receiver Allen out, Keenan Allen, who is one of their big producers offensively. I have the Chiefs just with this weapon being out. I don't think they have enough power, and they have a lot of dysfunction right now.
Man, even with Keenan Allen being dropped out, he finished the year with 108 receptions, a single season franchise record,
Nice.
and 1,243 yards ran.
That's funny. 1, 2, 4, 3.
1, 2, 4, 3. Yep.
So
yeah, I had the Chargers a little bit on this, and then no, I don't.
Simple as that.
Yeah, I had the Chargers just a little bit on it.
Yeah, I never did. Next we got LA.
I never did.
No, I don't. I'm gonna be totally honest. Next we got the Los Angeles Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers. I think they did not have any injuries that I could see. The Rams or the 49ers.
I didn't see any injuries on either side.
Yeah, there is not. They are both playing for playoff. They're both in the playoffs. Obviously, Niners need to win to keep that first number 1 seed, and 49ers would like to win so they don't face them again. I have the Niners here winning. They cannot lose again. They've had some tough parts at the end of the season. Not as tough as the Eagles, but I still have the 49ers. Who do you have here, man?
For me, I have the 49ers as well. They need to play. They've been playing well. Once they got all 3 of their guns back, they were just back to smacking everybody out, playing very nice, very cohesively. 49ers, there's a small doubt in my mind that the Rams can take this from them, but 49ers is who I have to go.
I mean, the Rams will play them tough regardless.
Yes, of course.
Next, we have the Dallas Cowboys, sorry, versus the Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders are eliminated. This makes it easy for me. Dallas is still playing for the division and a possible number 1 seed. I have Dallas winning this game. Unfortunately, if the 49ers win, they will not get that first round bye. So I still have Dallas winning here convincingly.
Me as well.
Yeah, it's no doubt on here. Washington also has a little dysfunction and some injuries. Not going to get over it because they don't fucking matter to me. And then finally, the game you've been wanting to talk about since we started picking these. The Buffalo versus Miami. I did see, I think Miami had some injuries.
I did not see either of them having injuries unless I passed up. Are the Eagles not playing?
Did I skip over them? No, none of them have.
None of the games have Eagles.
So we'll see right now, but none of them have injuries. There's a possibility. Did they clinch the division? Clinch playoff spot. No. So this could be for the division. If Buffalo wins, they could still take the division, which is great. Which they'll play a lower seed. But they have to win. They're in the. I think if they lose, they might be out of the playoffs.
Man, I want Buffalo to win. That's as plain as day. Dolphins have fell off just a little bit.
Buffalo,
Getting closer to the end of the season.
just a little bit. Buffalo is on a 4-game winning streak. Uh, Fucking let's take Buffalo. I'm here to support you. Play. I got you. We'll root for the Buffalo right now.
Come
Uh,
on, Josh Allen, don't get picked out of your mind, dude.
he might play wild. It's for the playoffs. This is pretty much playoff or bust right here.
Oh yeah.
Did we skip over the Eagles? Yeah, we did. The Eagles are playing. We'll finish off with the Eagles.
Eagles and the Giants.
Eagles are playing the Giants. The Giants are eliminated. They do have some injuries, and so do the Eagles.
Denote Banks.
For the Giants.
Center CB, whatever CB is.
A cornerback.
Cornerback.
And then Devontae Smith, receiver for the Eagles, is out with an ankle. Unfortunately, that brings the Eagles down a little bit offensively, which they're already struggling with. But I don't trust New York Giants for shit right now. I will take the Eagles, and they will take the division no matter if Dallas wins or not.
Heck yeah. I'm for it. Let's go Eagles.
Nice. So tell us if you agree with our picks. What you think, who you think is going to go to the playoffs. Next week, we're also going to be doing a little playoff bracket once we know everything. We'll choose winners, and we'll choose our Super Bowl champion next week.
Heck yeah.
We might do a little something with that too. We didn't talk. I did not mention anything of this to you. But we will pick our personal team that we think will go to the Super Bowl and win. And then we'll also do a review of your first season with the NFL, really focusing on it.
Heck yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Definitely. I'm for it. I'm all for it, man.
Nice. Moving on to another football thing, specifically college football. The NCAA Football National Championship playoffs have ran on Monday. As we said in the on our podcast, Michigan had beat Alabama, and then after we went off. The Sugar Bowl was won by number 2 Washington over Texas pretty handily, actually.
When we had dropped off, it was 21-21 or something like that.
I mean, it wasn't like by 10 points or anything, but it was still, they won pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So this Monday, the national championship game will be number 1 Michigan versus number 2 Washington. Both teams undefeated. Both teams looking for their first championship, I think, in a while. I don't remember if Washington won one, but I know Michigan hasn't won one in a while. But regardless, who do you have here, even though you don't really know much about college football?
Other than if it's the Utes, I haven't been paying attention to anything of college football because go Utes.
By the way, they lost in their bowl game, so
yeah, I know. I was pretty sad when I didn't see anything come up, and I was like, "Oh man, I remember the days when they were taking the Rose Bowl, no problem."
Yeah. But I have Michigan number 1, gonna win this. They had a lot of controversy this year with certain things that are going backstage behind the scenes, but they are gonna win it. I think their team overall is much better, specifically defensively. The only thing that worries me is Washington is a fucking shootout of a team. I mean, they go deep, they score. Can Michigan keep up, or can the Michigan stop them enough to take the win? I think Michigan will win, though. So this will be a fun game. On Monday, depending on the time, what time it is, if I catch it after our podcast, I might do a live stream. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it by myself. It's
all right.
So that'll be great for me. Regardless, we'll try to get you some footage on that. So yeah, and that'll be the end of the college football. Moving on to NHL here, with the All-Star Week coming here in the beginning of February, that marks half of the season, give or take a little bit. Let's go over the standings and how teams are looking and what we expect on the future of the season and possibly who to make a run to the Stanley Cup title. Who do you see making a run in the second half of the season? Here, or do you want me to go first?
I want you to hit first. I don't know enough about hockey. All I know is points can be as close to this game as a soccer game, and it's
Mhm.
crazy if there's like 7 points.
Yes, agreed. Well, I'm gonna go over first a few things. Both my teams. Well, I have a few teams in hockey because I enjoy hockey more as a sport than just teams. But the reigning, defending, uh, NHL champions, the Vegas Golden Knights, are doing pretty good. They're in second place in their
Pacific Division.
in the Pacific Division. Unfortunately, they're in a two-game slide. The Kings also are doing right behind them with a few points behind, but also on a four-game slide. Um, Unfortunately, with that, I think they will have a. Usually, the All Star game resets some things and gives people some rest time.
Invigorated energy.
Yes, definitely. But it also has shown in the past that the way you go into the All Star game, the way you come out of it, and you just continue to go that way. The Kings look like they're going on a downwards projection. They might have some injuries I'm not aware of. So I think the Kings might slide off a little bit in the second half. Uh, Also, San Jose Sharks just fucking suck, man. 10-game losing streak. Wow.
Man, that's crazy.
Wow.
A third of their games played is losses. Well,
Fourth, almost a fourth of the games.
yeah, it's pretty devastating. What I meant was a third of their games they have lost have been just in this straight.
Oh yeah.
Almost a fourth.
Yeah. Jeez, you're not wrong. Um, Also, a few teams I see coming up here in the second half of the season. The Florida Panthers on the 6-game win streak. They also coming off a Stanley Cup loss. They might be encouraged and motivated to go at it again for the championship.
At least some Panthers doing well in sports.
Jesus, we couldn't bury them enough in the NFL, huh? We had to take another shot.
All the way to NHL. There's one letter off. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah, for real. And then
They're close to each other on a keyboard.
yeah, they are. I had to look at my keyboard real quick. And then the team I see also surprising, that's gonna surprise people, is the Seattle Kraken. They are on a 5-game win streak. Edmonton Oilers also on a 6-game win streak. I think they will continue to come up. Unfortunately, that will kick down some teams, and the Kings are looking like it's gonna be one of those teams as of now. Now to see who makes it to the Stanley Cup, there's still way too many games. The injuries could happen and all that stuff, but I see just long shot. I'm just gonna throw a few teams out there. I think fuck. This was hard. I think Boston comes back from last year's choking in the playoffs.
Absolute upset. They lost.
They
They lost pretty early on.
Yeah,
with how they lost.
Yeah, it was bad, but I think they make up for it this year and they'll make it to the Stanley Cup. Uh Unfortunately, I don't think the Vegas Golden Knights will repeat. I have. God damn, this is gonna be hard. I low key want to see the Dallas Stars come back and win because they haven't been. No, they did very well last year, but let's go Winnipeg Jets. They're on a 4-game winning streak. I think Seattle Kraken, like I said, has a possibility to surprise people. But Winnipeg Jets, going with Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega's team. They're from Winnipeg, Canada. Just for that reason, I'm choosing them. But they're also hot right now. So they only got 9 losses, 24 victories, and 4 draws. Very good record.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice record out of 37 games. I mean, they're just barely beat out by the Colorado Avalanches.
By 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Colorado has played 2 more games. So I think the Winnipeg Jets will surprise people. It'll be Boston and Winnipeg, and I think in the Stanley Cup.
Man, I just hope that the Bruins do a lot better. Because I mean, they were showing up as world beaters. We started this, and it started out as, look at these Boston Bruins. This team has been killing all the other teams. And I was like, okay, I'm all for it. I'm hyped for this team. Let's get into it. And I think in the fourth playoff game, uh, or the fourth or the fifth, is when they drew their line in the sand and they lost and they couldn't come back. And they were just done for in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, for the amount of wins they had, which is the best in NHL history, which is over
Mm-hmm.
100 years, they should have done better in the playoffs, but they choked. What can we say? Uh,
This is going to be their redemption arc.
I think so too. Yep, I think so. But let us know in the comments what you think of the NHL season so far. Um, who do you think could make the playoffs and make a surprise run? Like I said, the Kragans for me,
Mm-hmm.
I think will make a surprise run. Uh, but yeah, let us know in the comments. Uh, let's move on to some interesting news in sports entertainment, specifically pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling, buddy.
Yep. Let's start off with the big news. This Monday night, The Rock came back to WWE with the shock of everybody. Big pop, people went crazy. And then comes out talking this promo. He beat up Jinder Mahal. And then at the end of it, he said he was going out into the town and eating, right? And then he was saying, where should I sit? In the bar, in the booth, or at the head of the table?
Damn.
Yeah. A little jab at Roman Reigns, right? What do you think of this, man? We've been speculating for a while that this might happen.
So, if you were to even just go back and check some of our YouTube polls, I sent one pretty early on when The Rock did come back to WWE. I said, who do you think's going to become Tribal Chief? And me personally, I'm the only vote on there, but I picked The Rock. So,
I kind of agree. The only thing I don't agree on is we don't know if he's only having one match. If he's only having one match, he's definitely not winning.
well, head of the table will be different than Universal World Champ.
Agreed.
So he doesn't necessarily have to take Universal World Champ. Head of the
think he
table
does.
is a
No.
different story.
No, I think he does. Because that's the reason he's been the head of the table, because he's champion and been champion for 1,000-something days. Maybe I'm wrong,
All right.
but overall success, The Rock is definitely head of the table
Mm-hmm.
in my eyes, in my biased eyes, because I'm a big fan of The Rock. And other news coming up, we'll switch up to some Japanese news. Kota Ibushi unfortunately was hospitalized after a match he had in Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently he hurt both his knees, I think, or ankles
Oh,
during the match. He finished the match like that, and then after he was in extreme pain and was taken to the hospital. After suffering multiple injuries, yeah.
ankle injury.
Ankle injury. See, okay, ankle.
Yeah. Second ankle injury early in the match, but battled through it to win over Mafafa.
Yeah, that guy's name. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he still won the match.
Set to go undergo ankle surgery.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
So that means he'll probably be out anywhere from 2 months to a year, most likely. Depends how his ankles heal. It depends how bad it is. If it's an Achilles heel, learn from Aaron Rodgers. Do whatever he did, because he's almost back, and it's only been, I think, 3 months.
the right ligament. It
Ooh.
was translated from Japanese.
Okay.
I think there will be a release soon. I'm really, really sorry.
Oh.
Man, that makes me want to cry.
Yeah. I mean, Kota Ibushi loves wrestling. And we've seen a little bit of him. He is very, very good wrestler.
Oh yeah, I love Kota Ibushi.
Unfortunately, he's going to be out for quite a while. T's and P's to him. We can't wait to see you back in the ring. But uh, also from AEW, Andrade El Idolo has officially left the company. AEW. Um, AEW released something. Didn't read into it. Andrade also released something, thanking all the AEW fans and thanking for the support and to see him in the future.
Man, I'm just glad that I won't have to continue trying to say his name again. Andrade El Idolo.
Hey,
I have to say
got
it
it.
slow though.
You got it. Give me some. You got it. Finally, although he is gone, he's probably gonna go back to oh, I forgot his last name. Andrade. Jesus Christ. All right. Anyways, um, he will come up back later as he is rumored.
Oh,
Nope,
Oro Perez.
that's not the one he
No?
was going on in WWE. He was going under Andrade Alma.
Manuel Alfonso Andrade
Andrade
Opreso.
Almas. But regardless, he has left AEW and is rumored to have signed with WWE and or returning soon to WWE. Big news. Also in that news, Naomi is also rumored to come back to the company soon. I jumped out a little bit on the board, but
That's fine. That's fine.
it had Andrade on it. So we have two possible returns coming as this is rumored. Um, but speaking of Andrade Elidolo, his wife, Charlotte Flair, just recently went into surgery for ACL, MCL, and meniscus injury. She should be out for about 9 months to a year.
Yeah,
Possibly more.
that's a lot of surgery.
Yeah, I mean three tendons holding your knee together and your meniscus. Painful stuff. I don't think she's had a big serious injury like this
Mm.
before. She's had little things here and there, but T's and P's. She did say she's definitely coming back. So that's good news for all your Flair fans out there. I don't know. I don't remember if you are. That's a no.
She's a little overcooked on a lot of the things that she does, and there needed to be more movement, less movement. I mean, you very well influenced me with how Flair should be act, what she shouldn't be winning, what she is winning, and what was going after. Um, Great fighter, pushed the wrong way.
I I kind of agree. Now don't let my uh bias towards one wrestler sway you. Get your own ideas as well. You know,
No,
watch
no, I
it.
mean it definitely is, but it being to where I've just barely started watching
Mhm,
WWE big. You know, I'm very big into impressions on a lot of things,
mhm,
and Charlotte Flair was not a big impression on me.
mhm. Now don't get me wrong. I'm gonna go on a little bit of tangent. She is a great performer. She's a great wrestler, and she's pretty good on the mic. The thing is, the way they're positioning her in certain ways, the way they just, I'm not gonna say hand her, but kind of push her into get better, better and constant, better positions than everybody else. It's what irks me. It's kind of like Cena when he was at his top. They just kept shoving him down your throat. This is what it kind of feels like.
Yeah, I believe that,
So it's nothing against her. She is a very good performer.
and I can agree with that.
But we maybe need to pull it back a little bit on her. But
Well, she's definitely getting a pullback for about the next 9 months.
yeah, for real. Um, Now the former wrestler known as Velveteen Dream has issued an apology for dealings. He had some improper conduct in the past. Um, Not gonna get too much into it here. I will tell you later if you want to know. But it was
Oh, definitely.
very not. It was wrong. Period.
Socially unacceptable.
Depends where, but definitely wrong
All right.
in our society. Um, and in my eyes as well. Cannot do that. He did issue apology, but like years later. He just did it this week. Is it a little too late? Not for me to say. I loved him as a performer. Very flamboyant, very over the top, and very athletic too. But what he does is not acceptable, and I'm not gonna say more than that. I'll just leave it at that because I will get probably
We'll
canceled.
be here for the next 20 minutes.
Well, it's not just that. It's the crap I'm gonna say. It's very much violence inducing.
Well, Raquel Rodriguez.
Thank you for changing the subject.
She is out indefinitely dealing with health issues. Way to go. What is wrong with Raquel?
So she's is some sort of syndromes that it's like keeps her cells growing or something like that. I didn't read much into it. Um, there you go. Mast cell activation syndrome. I think she's just
Okay, so she gets really swollen. Her nerves are probably shot a lot.
yeah. It probably doesn't help the wrestling stuff, but Raquel, big fan. Love you and your look. Hope that goes better so you could come back in the ring. But yeah, it just sounds like it sucks.
Causes a person to have repeated severe allergy symptoms affecting several body systems.
Oh, that's not good. Not good at all. That could backfire really nasty if my head is thinking correctly. Well, we wish you the best, Raquel. Get yourself healthy 100% before you come back. We do want to see you back, but we want to see you healthy as well. So
Always be healthy.
yeah. So T's and P's to her. Also, with another injury, there's a lot of injuries here we're talking about. Don't worry, guys. We're not just gonna talk about this. There's a big event that happened when we live stream. The New Japan Wrestle Kingdom 18. We'll talk about that a little bit here as we continue. But first, we want to get all this off the bat. MJF may need and probably will have surgery on his shoulder and will be out for approximately a year. It apparently is much worse than they originally thought.
I mean, just with how he had some of the stuff, especially watching him in his clips, there's a little bit of a play to a lot of everything. But there were moments that you could see where he was either lifting somebody or pulling something up, and he just couldn't handle it, and it like buckled or something. And you're like, okay, that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him in the last few matches with that shoulder brace, taped the hell up, even underneath that brace.
And he wasn't even doing a lot either.
Yeah.
He was very, I would do something, and then I'm done. And then I'm something, and then I'm done.
I think he's been dealing with this for a while. Wrestlers are known to tough shit out. Like tough guys who just fight through the injury and continue putting on a show.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's this bad, it kind of sucks. But go get some rest, like we said with Raquel. Get yourself healthy and then come back to the wrestling business. Other news: Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks, is rumored to be is expected to sign with AEW.
Let's go. I love Sasha Banks.
Yes, we do. Gorgeous woman, gorgeous wrestler. Probably future champion here for AEW.
I could see it.
Yep, I'm excited for that. Former also AEW news, another signing, former WWE and TNA star, Diana Perezzo has signed with AEW.
Okay. Don't know who the hell she is, but okay.
She was in NXT mostly when she was down in WWE. And then when TNA, she was a very long reigning women's champion. Excited to see what she does here. Possibly also another AEW women's champion here, soon to be. It seems like all companies are making moves right now. With AEW signing also Ospreay here a few weeks ago.
Oh, I'm so ready for him to see him in a lot of stuff.
Agreed. With some news that I'm gonna jump into here in a bit. Possibly 2 signings to New Japan. It seems like everybody is making moves and trying to bolster themselves. Oh, another news. Speaking of signings, WWE is expected to sign former NWA Women's Champion Camila. Um, Very strong, very beautiful young lady. Uh,
Isn't she blonde?
Yup, a total blonde and really, really freaking tall.
Yeah,
So
I've seen her.
why you say it like that? We'll leave it at that. Moving on. Uh, I'm sure Camille will have a great part to do here in WWE. She's a great talent. Uh, Also, tonight, Roman Reigns is expected to show up on SmackDown, possibly to respond to The Rock's
That can
challenge.
it depends on how Roman reacts here.
Yep.
And I know that this isn't necessarily our forecasting, but just to throw it out there, if The Rock does come out, um, if Roman's there and The Rock comes out, there's going to be a small fight, and I'm there to see it.
You think there'll be a fight, man?
If The Rock comes out,
Gotcha.
it will get physical.
Gotcha. Well, I personally don't think so, but we've been surprised before, right? Um, I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit here. I wrote it kind of out of place, but Matt Riddle, after Wrestle Kingdom 18, made a challenge to actually
Finley.
to Finley. I will tell you why he made the challenge as we go over Wrestle Kingdom, but it seems like Matt Riddle is gonna be signing at least short term with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Um, Speaking of that, in during the Wrestle Kingdom 18 broadcast, Nick Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth, Nick, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler from WWE, appeared in the broadcast sitting in front, and they spotlight him.
Okay,
So, and then we'll go more on them, but it looks like they might be also be uh, catching up with New Japan here for a little bit. Um, Speaking of New Japan, here quickly, WWE and New Japan apparently have been in talks to have a working partnership, which has not happened since the 80s with these two companies.
a partnership would be really good because didn't we get a little bit of uh the people who were in Golden Lovers?
Kenny Omega and Ibushi.
Yeah, didn't we get Kenny Omega bleeding back into WWE or
No, New Japan.
AEW
Kenny
from that
Omega,
point? Or
AEW to New Japan. They're
gotcha.
doing
Okay.
that. And they keep having a working relationship as wrestlers show up on both companies, with John Moxley showing up on Wrestle Kingdom, also Brian Danielson and so on.
Yeah.
So they have that working relationship. Um, but with AEW having that working relationship with New Japan, New Japan and all these Japanese promotion joining together and doing that unified Japan wrestling company.
Oh yeah, that was massive. There was
it was
4 or 5 groups.
no, I think it was like 7,
Okay.
if I remember
I
correctly.
remember like 4 or 5 names
Yeah.
wrote down, but they were all
They're big companies,
yeah.
and now with WWE doing this, plus there's something I didn't write down here. There's a rumor. This is just a rumor.
Oh, it's
Yeah, it's all right. With Triple H saying there's a big announcement coming. There's a rumor saying that WWE and TNA Impact are in talks of a working relationship as well, like New Japan. If this all happens, all companies are going to be working together, it seems like. And for me, as a huge wrestling fan, this is perfect because we could see dream matches we've always wanted. We could see talent being shared all over. And with all that, it opens up the doors for possibly more talent being shown, and then switching off talent so they could see how they look in their in the other lights and other fan bases, how they could grow and then switch back around. This just opens up the the how do I say this? The floodgates on the possibilities of these people growing so much. Because WWE, New Japan, AEW, TNA, all of them have different styles.
Mm.
New Japan also has working relationships with a lot of companies in Mexico. and also some European ones. So all that being mixed together, all like mwah, beautiful for the wrestling business.
I'm just excited for mega shows.
Yes, and mega shows. Uh Speaking of a mega show, let's go into Wrestle Kingdom 18 before we move on any further. We will finish the wrestling segment here and then jump into our top six wrestlers and our bad segments. But let's go off real quickly. The show starts off obviously with the pre-show Royal Rumble. I'm not gonna say much about that. We'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
The show actually opens up with the IWGP Junior Heavyweight titles on the line, with uh, Dallas and Clark, the War Dogs, the champions, with some beautiful white straps. Man, those belts look beautiful.
Oh, they were. It was blistering white.
Yes, it was nice and clean, very clean.
The first thing you said though when you saw it was, "There's gonna be blood."
Yep, and I was right. I was right. And then Akira and TJP catch 2-2. TJP came out to. First of all, the entrance music is fucking banging.
Oh yeah.
But they had a little angle where he was buried in a casket. Came out with this Filipino like fiend looking thing.
Yeah, it's like the boogeyman of the Filipino,
Mythos.
yeah, mythos.
Mm.
And just on looks alone, I'm not now a fan of TJP because that was beautiful.
I agree. I agree. And then right off the bat, one of the warthogs get slammed on their face and blood comes out of their mouth. As I called it, quickly blood in there. But TJP and Akira beat War Dogs and are the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champions. The match after that was the NJPW World.
There's a lot of letters.
Yeah, so it's a little confusing, guys. TV Champion Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tanahashi, the Ace, formerly known as the Ace or Ace. This was a very good match, back and forth. Zack Sabre Jr. is always very technically sound. Did you watch this match too?
No, I stopped at TJP, or no, I did Zack Sabre Jr. and Tanahashi. That's where I had to leave. It ended, or I left at 12:56.
Yeah. So great match. Tanahashi takes the title. Personally, I don't think he should have won, but I get his status. Definitely deserves a win. After that, it was pretty young stars here of Yuto Tsuji versus Yuya or Yuyo Ao. I can't read that.
I'm Amuraman.
Muruwa. But that guy. But he took the victory in a decent match. It was not bad, but also nothing like too special. I think they're building up to be the rivalry of the future. So consider that one or both will win world titles sooner than later. Then we had a tag match of Kyoto and
Shota
Uno versus Evil and Ren Narita. Match was filled with a lot of distraction and a lot of interference from the outside. It was an okay match. Evil and Brian won. Like I said, nothing too big, nothing I did not, and nothing to go home about. You know?
Yeah.
Right after that, it was a never open weight champion, Tagagi versus Tama Tonga.
Oh yeah, Tama Tonga.
This was a good match, good back and forth, both kicking out of finishers multiple times. It was probably the second match that was like, okay, this is a pay-per-view level match. Tama Tonga takes the title away from Tagagi. and is a new open weight champion. I'm pretty happy about this. This is what I wanted. Uh, After that, we go into the IWGP and Strong open weight tag team titles. It's both titles on the line as Yoshihashi and Goto, the IWGP tag
Mm-hmm.
champions, go versus El Desperado and Hikuleo,
El Fantasmo.
El Fantasmo and
Hikulio.
Hikuleo.
Or however something. That we're saying it very Spanish, and it's
Yeah,
probably not that way.
yeah. But there's a strong title, tag team champions. Winner take all, and Fantasmo and Hikuleo beat um, Gato and Yoshihashi in decent match. Um,
Okay.
I think Higuloa needs a little more work. He is a big dude, so there was a few things that were awkward. Specifically, the finish of the match. It wasn't like crap bad, but it was. It just you saw it and
Could have
like
been a lot better.
yes, it could have been a lot of crisper. Is the word I would use. But regardless, great, good match. Probably the top of the card at this point of the matches. After that, we had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title, like a
With
cruiserweight title,
mm-hmm.
with
Takahashi and El
El
Desperado.
Desperado. That's right. Um, good good match. This was run back from a few years ago, Wrestle Kingdom. Sorry. Um, Great match, very physical, for and quite a few high spots. I did not see the finish coming, and that made it much better. But El Desperado takes the victory and is your new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Uh, right after this was a triple threat for the new IWGP Global title, which was John Moxley versus Will Ospreay versus David Finlay. Beautiful match. Outcome sucked ass. Personally, the outcome sucked ass. Just because I did not want David Finlay to win, but I see why they gave it to him. He's the only one that's really staying in New Japan permanently or steadily. After the match, he shoves Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler. So look, and they go off fighting. Like literally, people had to get involved. They go down backstage, and they're still fighting backstage. So it was a fun little segment there. But with what I said earlier, Matt Riddle challenging Finlay was for the title of the IWGP Global Championship. So it looks like two former WWE stars are going to be uh, shooting for that title, which is great. It's a global title. Who is more global than WWE or former
mm-hmm.
WWE superstars? So
Exactly.
um, I'm excited to see what they do there with that title. Uh, After that, it was Okada versus Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
Boy, this match was physical. That Bryan Danielson was slapping the spit out of Okada like you would see sweat coming out of him. He stomped him out so much. He beat him so much that he was leaving marks all over his body.
Oh man.
Okada does come up with the big win after a few rainmakers. For those that don't know, it's technically like a ripcord clothesline. Very beautiful move. Great match. After the match, they both kneel in respect and bow their heads, like deep bow, like to the
Mm.
floor. Uh, Beautiful, beautiful show of respect. Beautiful match. Uh, at this point, this is the match of the night. And finally, the main event, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
Sonata and Naito
versus the G1 Climax winner. Yep, exactly, Naito. Uh, this match was very good and very deserved for Naito to take up the win. Uh, they both were pulling off moves from each other as were both former stablemates. Specifically, Naito was the stable head and Sonata was underneath.
mm-hmm.
Very back and forth match. They know each other very well because they teamed for so long, and they were pulling each other's moves on each other. So
Oh, that's nice.
yes,
That's fun.
it was very good match. Um, Naito comes in with the big win to finally get his send off of the night in Wrestle Kingdom. This since I want to say the mid 2000s has been in the works with his other character he had before. Uh, there was a lot of controversy behind that. We might do a review or reaction to it, so I'm not gonna get too much into it. But he's finally get his curtain call, is what they were calling it. But as he's about to do it, his other former stablemate, Evil, comes out and attacks him, trying to not give him that moment.
Yeah.
Guess who comes for the save? Sonata
Nice.
comes for the saves, and he just pretty much says one. I'm guessing he's saying one more time, or just this one time of respect. This is the floor is yours.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful show of respect, showing that yes, we might not be friends, but you won. You deserve this. Uh, as my former stable leader.
Yeah.
Very good. Show ends up with a big salute to Naito and finally getting his due desserts and the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. A little news there to finish off. Unfortunately, Naito has been dealing with a lot of injuries, so he is very close to finishing his career.
Okay.
So this might be one of the last times we see him as the main event. Unfortunately, that sucks, but that's the life of a wrestler, and that's life overall.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Someday you got to throw in the towel.
yep, enjoy it while we have it, right? Um, so tell us what you thought of the card. My review, real quick, from all the Wrestle Kingdoms I've seen, which is a handful of them, I'll give it 2 thumbs up. No middle fingers on this one. I think some of the card was very lackluster years before. The whole card was fire from top to bottom. Every match was killer. This one was hit and miss on some,
Mm-hmm.
and specifically one that I will talk to about here in a bit. But going into that, let us know what you thought in the comments of Wrestle Kingdom 18. But we're gonna move swiftly into. Let's go straight into the bad first. Pro wrestling bad moments that we saw this week. You have any?
I have one,
Okay.
and it is Christian winning back his title almost immediately
After losing it.
after losing it. Yeah, and I mean he pulled a couple of strings there to get it done, but it didn't make any sense to me. I'm also a big Adam Copeland fan, and it just being taken away from Adam Copeland like that, I was like, come on, man. He's been chasing you this entire time. Give the man his due. Give him some break. And I talked about what I felt like. I gave my theories on how everything was going to go in the Monday stream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. That should have not happened. It was bullshit. Fuck, it was bullshit. Uh, I get kind of why they did it. They're trying to build this heat on Christian, but like you said, it did not make sense. It should have never happened, especially Kill Switch, formerly Luchasaurus, giving up his contract pretty much for the title.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that is not interchangeable like that. There's not a cash exchange. He won it. He deserved it. Christian, it's bull. The fact that they even pulled the trigger on this and let it happen is
Pretty outlandish.
it's very questionable to be lightly, and this will put question marks on AEW for sure. I think Adam Copeland, like you, I'm a big fan of. He should have kept that title. He should have never, or if he lost it to Killswitch,
Mm-hmm.
that would have made more sense than what they did. But it was just a head-boggling decision by the company. Um, One of mine here, I'll go real quick. I have two, additionally to that.
Yeah.
Real quick, this one is a personal taste. That's really what I'm gonna say. I don't see this person. She shouldn't be in the wrestling business from the stories I've heard. And Jesus Christ, they're getting loud again. Nia Jax beating Becky Lynch was a catastrophe. Should not happen. She does not belong. She is unsafe and unprofessional. What I heard.
Mm-hmm.
This is just what I've read and heard. Is she a good person? I don't know her. I'm all for everybody getting their money, but I'm not a big fan of this.
Yeah.
And then second, the new Japan Wrestle Kingdom 18 pre-show Rumble Battle Royal. Sorry, it was a bit of a cluster, bro.
It was very much a cluster. I mean, it
Mm.
definitely was them getting everything ready and set up. You could definitely tell
Yes,
that they were definitely like still trying to piece
stuff together.
a lot of things
Yeah,
together.
like there was no English commentator, which that we were fine with. It was a
Yeah, no,
pre-show.
we're just fine listening to Japanese. We don't understand a lick of it,
Much of it.
but it was a mess.
Yeah, I mean, uh, a lot of exits happened quickly, and the winner was announced abruptly. And
There was still like three people in the ring, but
that's really what the question is.
mm-hmm.
What the hell happened with that battle royale? It is unfortunately it was shown on their stream, and it was obviously a few wrestlers still involved. So that was bad planning, bad booking, bad execution all around. So if there's anything that's really bad, it's that one. The other two were more nitpicky, more I don't like this person. It didn't make sense quite a bit,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But this one was just terrible. Um, so that was our bads of the week for pro wrestling. Let's go a little bit more positive. Our top six wrestlers of this week. There's a lot of them, as it was AEW pay per view and New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 18. Let's start off with our 6, 5, and 4. What are yours, man?
For my number 6, I got Akira and TJP for my number 6. I really enjoyed seeing the new Masked Menace.
Mhm.
That's the biggest reason why they made my top 6. Number 5, I got Seth freaking Rollins. He's sitting there prodding around doing his thing. And number 4, I have Adam Cole for the entirety of. Okay, yeah, I thought I lost my 1 for a second. Adam Cole's my number 4 for the entire devastation, and I probably could have moved it up a little bit.
The demon, the devil.
Yep, I could have moved it around a little bit, but there was a lot of good other moments as well.
Yeah.
Adam Cole coming out as the demon, that's pretty wild.
Indeed, indeed, is very wild. He is also on my list, not there yet, but I'll go into it. At my number 6, I have to give it up to him. I did not want him to win. I am not happy he won, but he did win the global championship, which is David Finlay, showed against two of the best wrestlers in the world, Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley, showed him up, got a victory. Questionable with other stuff involved, but he won. Point blank. He is the new champion, so I gotta give him his props at 6. At 5, I got another one. I'm very happy that won. Tama Tonga. He has won this title before. This time, let's see if he could elevate it more. This would show if he could go to the next step, but I haven't given my props at number 5. Couldn't put it any higher than that because he has won this title before. At number 4 is Eddie freaking Kingston, as he is the Triple Crown champion, and I have to put him on this list because he put his money where his mouth is and came out on top. That's simple as that. So those are my 6, 5, and 4. Who are your top 3, brother?
So I did actually have Tama Tonga as a contender, but I ended up crossing him out to make room for my number 6.
Gotcha.
But for number 3, I have Samoa Joe in correlation with the Demon, but how he was able to build up MJF and then knock him down like that. I did not see the sideline coming. I thought it was beautiful, wonderfully executed, great storyline. Got the point across. For number two, I got Naito. He smacked a lot of shit and ate a lot of ass. No, we did cover everything that, and especially Lobo over here. He went into depth of why I feel like he is my number two. Um, and for my number one,
Mm-hmm.
I have Eddie Kingston. He won everything. He was low, they brought him back up. He killed everybody else, and there he is, sitting there standing, triple champ.
I do like your list, although mine is a little different. Very similar. At my number three, I got Adam Cole. Reason being is, like you said, the the planning and execution of the devil, the fake out with him being injured. Oh, I mean he is injured, but faking out like he's attacking himself even more. The fake out with Samoa Joe, that was great.
Mm-hmm.
That leads into my number two, Samoa Joe, our new AEW champion, and involved in this storyline of the devil, which is very, very good, very well executed as well. Samoa Joe also long time coming to be this world champion. I'm not a big fan in the way they just gave it to him or he won and then he's out. But we'll see what he does with it. I hope he has a pretty long reign with it. And my number one, he is the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion, Naito. I'm very happy for him. Long time coming. He's been champion multiple times, but his curtain call, his send the home crowd happy, finally happened. Cannot give any more of a props than give him the number one spot here today. Uh, but those are our top six wrestlers of the week. Tell us if you agree, disagree. What is your list for this week? If we left anybody out, let us know as well. Um, we're gonna finish off tonight with entertainment. Entertainment. I think I said that right.
Yep.
Sorry, it's been a long show. But you have some news on some entertainment stuff that
Yes.
I'm also excited about.
So first off, I am currently technically rewatching Attack on Titan. I originally started watching the show, but going through and rewatching it, I don't remember jack squat of what happened. But we'll be able to get you guys here soon. Our thoughts and reviews on season one's, season two, and then up and coming season three, if that's something that we're interested in doing.
Mhm.
And yeah, definitely a lot of things I don't remember about Attack on Titan. And then I have a few other things.
Okay.
And
Let's talk about them.
this one right here is some video game releases. And I'm excited about a few, and I'm stunned about a few. For the first one, I have The Last of Us Part 2, and they're remastering. I'm pretty sure it said remaster over remake. They're remastering the game. It released on next gen console, so when PS5 came out.
Yeah, I never played it, but I heard it was a very, very good. Um,
It definitely, so the first one's definitely a lot better. The second one is less than preferred by other people's.
gotcha. Um, what is your overall review on it? Because I've never heard much about it.
Of The Last of Us.
Mhm.
Season 2 or part 2 is um all that, huh?
All that.
Season or part 2. Jesus Christ, why do I keep saying season?
We're stuck on that season with all the shows we're watching.
Yes. Part 2, they pushed a lot of agendas and I felt like it ruined the game. I'm not going to go too far into it, but I definitely feel like the game could have been better. I'm excited for how the season 2 of the show goes, but I don't necessarily think that the remaster of 2 is necessary. Um, as it did come out, and technology has increased a little bit, graphics have increased a little bit. Whatever, it's gonna look prettier. The one that I'm really excited for a remaster is Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider
Mm.
1, 2, and 3 is going to be remastered.
The old school blocked
I don't
graphics.
I don't know if it's that old school one. All I read was Tomb Raider remaster 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And there was a more recent Tomb Raiders that were out. Very enjoyable games. I've played 2 of the 3.
Hmm.
And then there is, oh yeah, the release dates for Last of Us Part 2, January 9th. Tomb Raider Remaster, February 14th. Now, one big one that I'm really excited about, and you're going to understand a little bit more about like the universe and all that,
Mhm.
is Skull and Bones.
Oh, the pirate one.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
And
excited for that one.
and I did tell you about what Skull and Bones originally was. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Black Flag one.
Yep. It was originally supposed to be a Black Flag DLC, but I don't know where they disconnected, and it just started becoming its own game. And the last one, which I remember seeing the first and second one come out, and I really enjoyed watching them. I've never played them myself, is the South Park games. And they have a new game coming out called Snow Day. That is March 26th. Also, Skull and Bones release date, February 16th. March 26th for South Park. Now, that's not everything that's coming out. That's what I'm most excited about here to come. So, yeah, that is basically all that I have for video game entertainment and for TV show entertainment. For movies, I have the elusive Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
July 26th is the release date. I'm hoping that we get another trailer because the most trailer that we got was just on I can't think of his name now.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, Ryan Reynolds. The biggest announcement we got was from Ryan Reynolds' YouTube channel, and he was just like, "We're making a movie," and then that was the announcement.
Um.
All right, well that's weird.
Yeah, we had a little technical thing. See how it looks. Um.
Oh, it's definitely bugging out.
Yeah.
Well, I think that that's all that I have. If that's all that you have,
Yeah. Let's we'll continue this conversation later as our camera's kind of glitching out. But thank you guys for watching us. Remember, take everything we say as a grain of salt. We are just two jokers, two doofuses who like to talk about sports, wrestling, and entertainment. We're a bunch of nerds. Let's be honest. Uh, if you don't like what we say, or think we insulted or irk you in some way, move along. You do not need to watch us. We're fine without it. Uh, Also, remember to be grateful for what you have and be grateful for the problems you don't have. Remember, it could always be much worse. But other than that, I've been Lobo,
I've been Jax.
and this was Joker's Wild Side. See ya.